What does it truly take to build a community? Today, we're sitting down with Darin, club captain and proud fourth generation stalwart of the Mount Wellington Rugby Football Club. He never wore the black jersey, however, one legendary grassroots match made him and his teammates feel like absolute giants, with the whole community rallying behind him that season. From keeping local youth on a positive track to the raw reality of our community landscape today. This is a story about whānau and the power of local footy. Stick around, you don't want to miss this one.
Kia ora, kia ora. My name is Darin Housham. I was born in Mount Wellington. Pretty much for me, I've been a member of this club all my life. I guess I was born into the club. I think my great-grandfather was involved when they founded it, like a founding member, so his sons played here. We all lived local. Their sons played here, and my grandparents were members, and I think they had darts here, and it was a community centre, rugby for us. So growing up, as kids we were always here, and obviously I had a lot of family here. So yeah, I've been a member all my life. I think it's in my DNA, green and gold. Yeah, I've had I stopped playing for a while. I actually went to another local club for a while, but had to stop playing and I started working, and sort of lost the rugby a bit, but then came back home and jumped into things and never looked back. I guess sometimes, yeah, like I said, to your DNA, you're a rugby person, club man, I guess. You wake up and you don't look at cleaning changing rooms or setting up the fields as a chore. It's just what you saw growing up, what you know. So yeah, you enjoy doing it.
So I guess touching on, that's some of the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. No one's patting you on the back for doing it, but you get up and you do it anyway. Obviously you saw that. Did that kind of set a stand for you growing up? This is how things operate, this is how things are managed, just get it done. Is that what you kind of experienced? Yeah,
I think so. My family lived fairly close down the road here, Barrack Road, and I always saw my grandparents organising family get-togethers, fundraisers, and if you didn't have something, the family would sort of provide, I guess. We'd always have Christmas at my place, and Granddad would do the hangi, and everyone would. I saw community early on growing up. I saw big community whānau gatherings, and it was always linked through back to this club. So I've always seen that unity. Through unity, you can. So if we were travelling somewhere, or a family member was going overseas, you get together, fundraise, make it happen, and they get the funds to go, or they get the tracksuits for their team. I saw a lot of partying and celebrating, but there was just none of the other rubbish, none of the violence. It was just happy times. All the kids ate, and all the adults were happy. But all through rugby, different families. I think, as we were saying before, there's some players that I thought they were uncles. I got a Niuean uncle, a Samoan uncle, and that's all because they would play rugby. The men met their wives here and vice versa, because we had netball going on. So yeah, I guess I saw how to organise something and be involved in something for a wider community. Saw that in my life growing up pretty early. Whether that's good or bad, sometimes you get involved and I should be the one that just sits back and does nothing, but you can't. It's what you know to be right. So I try to think, what would our forefathers, I guess, our family, what would they do? How would they do it? Then sort of guide myself on that.
It's amazing that you, I guess, touched on that. your earliest memories are basically how to function and operate in a community setting, then that translates into, I guess, life lessons for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's kind of missing on the club scene these days? I guess within your club?
Yeah, for our club, Mount Wellington, we're definitely, we're not as involved with our community, but if I was to be not critical, but the community is not involved as well. Everyone just keeps to themselves, and normally when you touch down in a new town, so if you're from out of town, the first thing you do is you check out the shops. Where am I going to go shopping? You find a job, and where's the rugby club, or where's the sports? Because that's where it's active, where the community is, and being a part of a sports club, you can find work. So I think there's a bit of a a disconnect with our club and our wider or general media community. Why that is, I couldn't really pinpoint it. There is a lot of development going on. Hundreds more people moving into the area. And it has its good side, bad side. So I know we have to try better too.
In terms of if there was able to be help out there, ideally, what would that help look like in terms of helping you guys get up and running to the stage where you guys are confident enough to do the outreaches, to do all those things that you need to do? What would that kind of help look like to you?
Yeah, so that's a good question, because it gets me thinking, if I did have someone had a magic wand, what would you ask for? And it would be just guidance. It's always guidance in life and business and sport. You've got to have mentors. You've got to have guidance. And being quite a humble club, I think we don't always. We might criticise each other as friends and say on committee and that, but I don't think we believe that our advice is probably the best. Sometimes we sort of doubt ourselves, or we doubt ourselves, I think. So just having guidance and well, you only know what you know. If you haven't got the experience and there's nobody guiding you, I guess you only know what you're told or what's out there. But we need to be thirsty for that knowledge as well as a club, I think. And I think we're changing. We're not waiting. We're not. If we don't know, we're going out to look and find, search for that knowledge. I guess in a roundabout way. Hope that answered that question.
Cool. I think the question was more so if any viewers out there, if they could help at some form of capacity, we've got their message out there. Because clubs like this do need it, and that's important to the whole rugby scene.
Get involved, please.
There we go. Touching back on your playing days, any memorable moments, games that kind of stand out in your mind?
I can remember the first. It's one of those weird memories, but I can remember the first day. I think I was underage. We might have started at 5, so I would have been close to 5. And I didn't really understand the game, but I might have seen some cousins out there and friends, and my mum sort of pushed me on the field. We had no shoes. You couldn't do it nowadays. The President's players would never walk out on frosty grass. And I guess the best moment, if I look back, would just be the camaraderie, the friendship, the brotherhood. I'm still friends with guys I played with when we were 5 and through the teenage years. But in terms of good games, the greatest game would be, I think, when we were under 17s, we had a team. We got into the championship for that grade, and we were all at school giving out flyers, and it was the biggest moment of our lives. Whole neighbourhood came down to watch. We had this park full, and I can't remember if there was adults playing, but our boys shined, and it was great. It was that change. The locker room was like, I wish we had cameras back then, because it was like we were playing in the Auckland A team or All Blacks team. And that's what it is. You might not be an All Black or you might not be a red player, but if you smell liniment on a Saturday or you see the grass, you get that feeling, I think, inside. Just the adrenaline pumps and that passion. So that to me would be our best game was at around that grade, the under 17s. And so if I was looking back at how to structure a team, think of the coach, the manager, and the players and what we did, and it was just full of love, support, and we had a goal, and we went out there and I think we achieved it. So yeah, it'll be the top game. I'd have to give you names and facts, so I've got a photo over there, but I can't think of them right now.
Yeah. I look forward to coming back for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
In terms of, I guess, if we touch on the age grade you just mentioned, under 17s, high school, seems to be a bit of a theme amongst the clubs. Kids going through high schools, dropping off after high school, not really coming back to the club. Has Mount Wellington kind of felt that pinch in terms of that drop off after high school?
Yeah, we have. And I think personally, I've noticed there's a whole lot of other factors as well. But once they get to college, I think it's more attractive to a player, and it should be, really. You would love them to. There was a window when I was at college, you could sort of play both, and we could even have a run with the league. It didn't clash. And I think now everything clashes. The games at the same time. People want the same players. Really, we're fighting for the same space, the same players. So whether they're told they can't play club because of injury or they have to focus, I don't know. But I have been told there's different colleges structured different. If that's the best for that young player, I think that's good. If they're promising them the world and saying, "Oh, this is how you do this," but they don't fulfill it, then that's bad. You should let the player make the decision. But I think colleges now are a lot more attractive. First 15. We obviously want them to come back, but then we have to be attractive for them to come back too. So we have a lot more work to do. Because when you get to college level, there's all those distractions, chasing girls, partying, work. Once you start working, you don't have time for your sport sometimes. So yeah, we do lose them when they get to college. Some come back if we've got the right age group or the right environment for them, but generally we lose them, which is a shame. You want to see them come through the club because a lot of them probably are the second generation player or something, so you want them the family to stay on in the club.
And I guess for you, if any young viewers out there, what would the message be? A message of encouragement to get behind the club.
First, I think figure out what you really like. I think there's so much going on in sport, on the sports team. Kids can choose different games and get into it very easy. So if rugby is your passion and rugby is your goal, get involved, stay involved. And parents can help their kids too. Sometimes you just send your kid out to the local club with their friends and you don't have much involvement. So parents should really just see what the kid wants, what the player wants, boys and girls, and just guide them a little bit. For the young kids, just get involved if that's your passion. Yeah.
Cool. Age range wise, what do you guys offer here at Mount Wellington Rugby at the moment?
We have two men's teams, senior teams, so Prems, and then the Presidents. We only have a tennis-side women's, so that's our teenager girls and women's. We're looking at developing that to the 15s team, and then a few junior grades. Very, very low on our junior grades this year. So we're going to have to do some work on that, around that space. Our juniors are important. More so than us having them, I just want to see around this area the kids stay involved, whether that's in tag, touch, cricket, soccer, because I love this community in Mount Wellington, and obviously I want everyone to come to rugby, but the reality is they might have other interests. If I think back to my generation, my mates, a lot of friends that didn't stay with the rugby or the sports, they didn't end up in making good life choices, and I see it still happening now. The kids that I've coached through the grades, once they got to college, and then I bump into them somewhere, they've got some horrific stories, and I just hate hearing that from a young person. You know, they're just repeating what my generation would have gone through, would have done. So it's a shame.
So with regards to obviously, sorry, just touching on the pattern repeating itself, it can be broken by, I guess, the experience that you had at the club at a young age, being able to identify the sense of community, sense of belonging. Yeah. And that's what this club could offer.
Yeah, it's it's like a vehicle for change in a man or a woman's life, in any age really. We have a lot of teammates that haven't played since college. They get involved and you just see them change throughout the season. So not just kids, but adults as well. It's definitely a vehicle to help you find an outlet and to do something positive and find role models, and it's important in a young player's life or a young child's life. Sometimes mum and dad aren't the role models because they're telling them off or something, so they don't want to hear what they have to say. But an outside, someone from the outside who's saying positive things, you know, that might sink into a young'un, and you know, they change their ways. In sport, rugby in particular, there's a lot of life lessons in that, in this sport, and that's why we love it, and that's why it's shaped us, I guess. Yeah.
I guess listening to your story as well, identity, community, belonging, so I guess some of the key things that you've found through the club, hoping that other people find through the club and the community as well. Is there anything else that the club offers that I haven't just touched on?
Well, we spoke about family. You know, we go to each other's weddings, and we're at the age we're going to our mates' funerals, which is a shame. But just, it's a place, not only a place to belong, because you can belong to a lot of positive things. We can help you find out who you are, not to be too serious, but you know, if you give someone an opportunity, say to coach or give them a role, they could shine through and become someone they didn't think they could become. So we're always looking for positive growth, even in ourselves and in myself. I always have to change. I'm not always right. I have to learn I'm not always right. And listen, so there's life lessons that transfers from the field into life, and that's what they could learn here.
Is there a moment that kind of stands out where you're most proudest of being from Mount Wellington Rugby Football Club?
There's many. I just think for me personally, thinking back of how many friends and how many family members I've had from here, it's, you know, I've said that already, but it's that's what I'm proud of. If I go to family reunion or family wedding overseas, it's just full of people that started here, their parents are from here, grandparents are from here. So it's just family, and in my family we're always proud to be from here. So it's just family. This club means family, and I think we try to do that in this season, this year. Always instill in people, this is family. Yeah.
Finally, if you could describe this club in one sentence and what it means to you in your life, how would you describe it?
It has been a tall mountain, a tall mountain. So when I'm lost in the city or in life in Auckland, I can stand on that mountain, look down, see our club, see our field, and it's just home. It's just home for me, I guess. Yeah. Maunga Rei, Mount Wellington, green and gold. It's home. Yeah.